the DPO in charge of our next door neighbor. After the exercise, we need to just give the boys. We should give them an envelope. 6 letters. What about the 5 1? Are we not going to organize the 5 1?
As the Commissioner for Health in Lagos State, one of the principal institutions you decide over is the last call. In a nutshell, sir, can you let us into the policy position of the state government?
I'm sure you mean our vision in setting up this complex. Essentially, what we have in mind in setting up the LASUT, the teaching hospital, and the College of Medicine combination is that the government intends to, first and foremost, provide a comprehensive but highly efficient, affordable and accessible healthcare services up to tertiary level to all citizens of Lagos State, using most modern technology as well as highly developed human resources. And in furtherance of that, utilizing that opportunity provided by such tremendous efforts to teach both undergraduate and postgraduate professionals of medicine in order to be able to propagate the knowledge and practice that is provided within that service, so that it becomes a sustainable healthcare delivery system. That is our vision.
Therefore, in pursuit of this vision, what are the things that your ministry, to the government should remain stepping to do to realize?
Well, it's been very tough, I can assure you, but the government has really done a lot, and more will still coming. In fact, transforming the general hospital itself to teaching hospital was quite a challenge, which the government has managed to face. And one must not only commend His Excellency the Governor for approving that transformation, one must also commend the vision of the founders of the College of Medicine. But furthermore, one must commend all the personnel on the ground in both the teaching hospital as well as the College of Medicine, because it's been a challenge, and one is happy to know that they have faced it quite successfully. It's still ongoing. The transformation is not yet complete, but a lot of progress has been made, up to the point that now the place is making a name of its own to the public, creating its own goodwill, more particularly in terms of reliability. The people have come to realize or accept that the Ikeja Teaching Hospital will always be there for them, no matter what. And even more specifically in emergency medical services, that has been their flagship. And in Nigeria now, the place is the flagship in emergency care. We are very proud of that.
Now, talking about the government now, what are the immediate plans for the development and the standardization of these institutions?
Well, the immediate plans include recruiting more staff to the College of Medicine and to the teaching hospital side to complement one and each other, so that our vision can be more appropriately met. Bringing in more equipment by the way of procurement. For instance, the fluoroscopy machine has been procured. For instance, the laser eye machines have been procured. The eye clinic is almost completed. The drug quality control laboratory, which is the best in the country, is almost completed. The laser machines are the best in West Africa. Also, we have reached out to our friends and well-wishers abroad, and they have promised us huge equipment, including CT scans and radiotherapy, cobalt therapy machines for cancer, and several other immunoassay equipments and analyzers, blood analyzers, and so on and so forth. These are high-tech equipment. With these things, we intend to boost the level of service and, as a corollary, level of teaching of the complex.
Now, in general now, can you speak on the level of healthcare delivery in the state compared with what?
Well, naturally, there has been a quantum leap between what we met and what we have now in healthcare delivery. I mean, in public health aspects, new programs, innovative programs like blindness prevention program, like the ambulance service, like the ambulance point system, like the communication system, like the emergency telephone call 123, and so on and so forth, ambulance boat service, school health, continuing medical education programs, disease control, the new four-stop therapy or DOTS program in tuberculosis treatment, and so on and so forth. They've continued. And when you talk about hospital services, we have improved it with the new fee-paying hospital pharmacy, utilizing private sector fund managers to guarantee availability of drugs round the clock in our major hospital centers, as well as the joint venture mortuary service, in which modern mortuary will be put up on a build, operate, and transfer system. It has already taken off in Bagada. They are going to start off in Ikeja Teaching Hospital now, anytime from now, and so on and so forth. So there's been a quantum leap. At the same time, we know we have not yet reached there where we are really aiming at, and we haven't stopped. We'll keep on going, bringing in more innovative ideas, essentially to ensure that the services are not only provided at the level we want, but they are sustainable.
And last month, sir, can you give kind of advice to a member of the government?
Well, my advice to them is to keep on supporting the government, for them to be reassured that this government really has their welfare in mind and will continue to strive, even though the resources are limited and are scarce. This government will continue to strive to look after their welfare, both in the social and economic sector, and also for them to have faith that whatever new initiatives or innovative ideas or programs that are coming, particularly in the social sector, should be seen for what exactly they are. Pure ideas with an altruistic motive to better the lot of our people and ensure that social services like health care are delivered on a sustainable basis. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for this opportunity. This is the very first question, sir. When was the college founded?
The college was founded, or was established in February 1999 by the then military administrator of Lagos State, Colonel Buba Marua. There was an opening ceremony, and immediately we took off.
Sir, considering the nature of the assignment that the college is assigned, what, in your own view, should be the standard ideal setup of such an institution?
Well, the ideal setup, we appear to have been meeting that standard. At the initial stage, the basic medical sciences were established, that's anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. And my own department, which is Department of Community Health and Primary Health Care, was also established at the same time. It's a unique system in which that department sees the medical students in very early in their career and follows them right through to their final year, except for 1 year break during their career when we don't see them in that department. We then, at that period, they would be attending the lectures for the basic clinical sciences, which include the pathological sciences, and pharmacology.
Now, sir, 3 years after, what in your own view are the challenges facing the institution?
3 years after, what we have found is that we needed a lot of money to establish ourselves on an international standard. Because you see, as the old saying goes, if somebody says that education is expensive, then try the cost of ignorance. And that is the situation with us in the college. The advancement of science is such that we just have to acquire a lot of equipment and thereby producing doctors that will measure up to international standard. The late VC, blessed memory, Professor Ikeja, insisted that we should produce 5-star doctors, and hopefully by the time the first set comes out in another 3 years' time or so, we should be able to be proud of them.
Therefore, in what areas or to what extent can you say that you need government assistance?
Well, we need government assistance, but almost like the proverbial or the little Oliver Twist, who was always asking for more. The college is expanding, and therefore we will need budget, we will need money. And not only needing the money, we will need it on time so that we can be meeting our targets. On our side too, we would, now that we are settling down, establish various consultancies or get involved in some consultancy services that will definitely bring in money. We've started with some seminars at which the drug companies will sponsor us and sponsor programs for us, and we usually end up with some amount in the kitty. That is the beginning. We're also hoping that the private enterprises, just like it's done all over the world, especially in industry, those involved directly in medical services, will come to our aid, not only in establishing endowments, but also in sponsoring consultants and professors to international conferences. Because the rate at which science has developed in the past decade and at its impact on not only health, but all aspects of human life is very impressive and enormous.
So what would be your, compare the challenges you have taken in that institution? What do you will be the future of the institution, probably in the next?
Well, the future of this institution is very bright. To start with, as far as knowledge is concerned, we are blessed with a crop of very experienced heads of department, including our provosts. In some medical schools in Nigeria, when they are established, some heads of departments have probably less than 10 years or about 10 years experience from qualifying. Virtually all heads of department in LASUCOM have got with them at least 30 years post-graduation experience in the field of medicine. So as a result, a lot of what they give to the students are such that they cannot be found even in textbooks yet. And this is the beauty of Lagos State as far as the colleges, as far as the college is concerned. They are really blessed with very experienced lecturers and consultants and professors.
Maybe on the last note, you wish to comment on the relationship between
LASUCOM and LASUCOM, they are like twin brothers or sisters, and it's a usual pattern all over the world that you have the teaching hospital next door to the College of Medicine or vice versa, and the intention is to get the college full-time job of teaching, and then bringing the students after they've been properly brushed up, and I mean brushed up in the ethics and practice of medicine, then bringing them along to the teaching hospital side, where they for the first time will be touching the human body live. And we hold the Hippocratic Oath and the Geneva Convention on Health and all the other oaths sacred. As a result, we believe that these students should be well grounded before bringing them to the hospital side where they will be exposed to living human beings. At the college, they start with subjects like anatomy, which means they have to dissect dead bodies. In our time, we didn't use gloves. Now we make them use gloves. And then they have to study physiology, which is how the body functions. And then the biochemistry aspect, which is how the organs of the body function at microscopic level. It's when we have grounded them in this, and we've made them pass the exams, and we're very strict with the exams, which usually consist of oral, theory, practical, and they must score pass marks in each of these. It's only then we can allow them or bring them across to the teaching hospital. Meanwhile, the teaching hospital, apart from teaching, still provide their own services to the public in Lagos State. And of course, you all know that our services is virtually the best in the country at the moment. Thank you.
Start with just ask from general hospital to that, how easy is that transformation?
It's a major transition, and nobody ever thought it was going to be easy, and indeed it hasn't proven easy at all, because being a teaching hospital has an entirely different set of requirements from being a general hospital. In a general hospital setting, people psychologically still have the impression that if all else fails, you can always refer a question, a person, an idea to a higher center. But when you are a tertiary care center, when you are a teaching hospital, you are the ultimate, and it's as if you are next to God. And so even in the minds of the doctors, there's a sea change, and there has had to be a sea change. They don't look upwards or backwards, they look inwards. And that means people are required to develop themselves. So one of the key factors in managing the transition has had to be the upgrading of the personnel themselves. Not upgrading necessarily in terms of promoting them and things, because that can always help, but upgrading in terms of improving the quality and caliber of people. For the most part, that hasn't made even changing people. What has tended to happen is that people themselves had not hitherto pushed themselves to the limit of their potential. But being faced with a challenging situation, people are required now to push themselves. People who were not reading before, who had felt content to just mark time in whatever position, knowing that eventually they will be promoted automatically, now feel compelled to develop themselves. People are acquiring new skills. Everybody virtually in last week is required to be computer literate. For instance, there was no such requirement when we were a general hospital. Of course, there are also things that have to, so apart from improving and upgrading the personnel, you have to improve the structures on the ground and the materials that they are required to work with. You also have to improve the aesthetics of the place. If a 40-year-old general hospital, there are requirements that you meet, but they are of a lesser order than if you are a new teaching hospital that wants to stand on a par with the best training centers in the world. If you looked around, if you had a vision, if you had an idea what this place was like 1 or 2 years ago, and you've been around now, it's not just a matter of knowing that we change our name to a teaching hospital. You can see that the physical structures, although we haven't changed the buildings, we have added a few new buildings, but most of the old buildings are still there. They look different than what they did before. The walls have a fresh coat of paint. Some of the facilities that were not working before have been put in working order. Those are things that we are required to do. Then equipment-wise, we've taken on some new equipment, not as many as we would have liked, but some are still in the pipeline. And the ones that we had before, we've put them into service in a manner that that wasn't being done before. We try to optimize. We try to optimize the usage of the things that we've had on the ground.
Going by those changes and the execution of those things, how can you describe the standard?
Well, the standard certainly has improved. Again, we are very ambitious in our project. The last project is a very ambitious project, so we can't pat ourselves on the back, or we can't thump our chest. We know, although we've traveled some distance in the short period that we've been in existence, we still have a much longer distance to travel. It's a happier working atmosphere now because people are genuinely enjoying their jobs, although the reality is that they are producing more and they're being challenged more. And initially, there was a lot of, just like with every other human endeavor, there was a lot of inertia, there was a lot of fear of the unknown. People, in the same manner that secretaries will fear that with the advent of computers they will be out of a job, people felt that with the advent of the transformation they wouldn't find any relevance in the new scheme of things. Everybody has had to create relevance for himself by changing with the times. The great men now realize that the way they comport themselves with the public is important, and you find that they smile and are polite in a manner that they were not 2 years ago. And it's the same set of people virtually, which goes to show you that by changing people from the inside, you can get a lot out of them.
Maybe as far as organizations, as you said, these endowment, I mean, what's the purpose of the endowment? What is the purpose?
The endowment fund, the last remedy fund, I assume that's what you are referring to. It's not purely a last matter as such. We are doing it as we are participating in the drive as a complementary activity to our sister institution, which is LASUCOM, the College of Medicine. And that's as it should be. That's exactly as it should be. The College of Medicine is complementary to the teaching hospital. The teaching hospital is complementary to the College of Medicine. The doctors, the purpose of the whole enterprise, apart from rendering service to needy people, to people who are sick and needing cure, is to turn out good quality doctors who will look after the health of the good people of Lagos State, who are the main sponsors and beneficiaries of the teaching hospital. So it's something that goes to the very essence of Lagos. Lagos is the state of excellence. By definition, we should have the best of everything in the world. We should have the best medical school in Nigeria, and that the aspiration of the LASUCOM project is no less than that. And I don't think the people of Lagos deserve anything less than that. So we are not going to rest on or else we are not going to leave LASUCOM, or we are not going to leave the College of Medicine to its woes and just concentrate on rendering health service to the people, because the doctors, the real apprenticeship part of the training of the doctors is not going to be in the college, it's going to be in the hospital. So we have to assist in the creation of that reality that we also desire, the emergence of the best College of Medicine in Nigeria on these premises. The college is located physically on the premises. Many of our doctors are going to be already teachers in the college, and some of them are going to be teachers. There is bound at every level to be some kind of relationship. We have long since realized the need for public assistance, for private assistance to this public project. The government of the day, luckily, has created a very conducive atmosphere for public-private partnership, and we are just tapping into that. Because there's nowhere in the world where government alone can fund everything. The communists tried it, and it ended up a woeful failure. If you have a command economy and a command society where somebody determines the amount of bread you eat and the amount of sugar that is given to you and all that, it used to be defined as utopia in a previous setting, but it isn't. Nobody sees it as utopia anymore. It's recognized that government will provide a conducive environment, participate in the project in the sense of funding it to a certain extent, but the public itself, who are the beneficiaries, have to play their own part of the deal. That is exactly what we are trying to do with this. We want the public to be part of the emergence and growth of the medical school. But it's not that government is short of resources to meet its obligations. It's just that we think if the public complement it by participating in it, then they get a sense of participation. They get a sense that that project belongs to them, and they will want to do things, of their own will to uplift the place. So government will build the structures and everything, but people will donate buses, people will donate classrooms, people will endow professorial chairs. They will do all sorts of things because they feel that thing belongs to them. We want people to feel that LASUT belongs to them. We want people to feel that the College of Medicine belongs to them.
Apart from that, of course, we are talking about doing 3 stations now. That's come and last. So have you seen any kind of thing behind?
Well, we have a very good, we are a partnership, as we said. And we complement one another. We are like, what we have is effectively a symbiosis. You know, we profit from one another, and even nothing that one does is complete without the other. The College of Medicine cannot finish training its doctors without recourse to us. We cannot call ourselves a teaching hospital unless we have a College of Medicine. So the one cannot exist without the other. We are complementary, and we are in perfect continuous communication.
Now, if you come back now, sir, we talk about the location. I mean, the hospital of Ikeja itself, the planning, the blasting of homes, and can you say that the location is consistent?
At the time that this hospital was founded many years ago, Ikeja was a very rural place. It was. I have been given to understand that a lot of the areas around us were not developed when they were bushy areas, and nobody, it was like so. This was like a cottage hospital. Things have since changed. Ikeja has become a cosmopolis. We don't think it's a hindrance to our services. In fact, we enjoy being in the center of Ikeja because, by reason of the public-private, if for nothing else than the public-private partnership that I described to you earlier, we are sitting 5 miles radius, within 5 miles radius of us, you have a coterie of companies who control more than 50% of the manufacturing that takes place in Nigeria. That's how privileged we are in this place. I think we should tap into that privilege, and it should be complementary. They should feel like stakeholders in the medical field. They should feel like stakeholders in the hospital. That is the kind of partnership we are seeking to involve.
Sir, going by all this and then with all this, I think I've done. I just according to plan. What on your own view, what would be the future of this station? What would it be like?
If you looked at the mission statement, we are not very modest. Not in the things that we think about ourselves, but not in the ambition. Certainly not in the ambitions that we have for ourselves. The ambition from the outset has always been not to be competitive with others, but to be far ahead of others. We want to be the best teaching hospital in Nigeria. We want the medical school to be the best in Nigeria. We realize that many people had a head start over this place, and that there are many hospitals with larger tracts of land, maybe more complicated and expensive equipment, and with more professors and all that. But there's a unique thing about Lagos, and that uniqueness is what we want to tap into. We don't want necessarily to be the largest hospital in Nigeria. We don't want necessarily to be the most expensive to run hospital in Lagos. But we already having many unique features which cannot be paralleled by other people. We are in the vicinity we have here, we are the only one who have it institutionalized into their procedures, the running of, at the same time, as they are pursuing excellence, they are required to run free health service for about 50% of, over 50% of the people that they get to see. Nobody else has that kind of, because people have traditionally thought that running a free service is incompatible with the pursuit of excellence. First of all, the volumes will be very large. We are obliged to see large numbers of people. Many people who should go to health centers and general hospitals elsewhere, because of the image of this place, they prefer to come here. We don't turn them back. We don't turn anybody back. That is the unique feature. And we still think that doing that amount of doing a vast amount of work is not necessarily inhibitory to the possibility of developing excellence, of writing papers, of creating new ideas and publishing materials, advancing human knowledge. We think the unique thing that will come out of this place is that we are combining excellence with great service, and we think that's what Lagos deserves.
Sir, on the last national school, being the best effort institution in Nigeria is really huge. Kind of personal. What's your vision for the last 2 years?
I've already told you, if you read the mission statement, my vision is that vision. We want to be the best, we want excellence, we want to use appropriate technology to achieve our ends. You don't want people to bring in machines for us that we cannot maintain. So we are getting new machines all the time, we are getting new equipment all the time, but as the equipment are coming in, we are laying down the infrastructure to avoid the pitfalls of the older institutions. They have all this equipment which are launched with great fanfare, and within 6 months those equipment are broken down, and they cannot even contemplate repairing them until the next budget year. We don't want to do it. We want to be able to, all the things that we have in-house currently, apart from 1 or 2 things, we're able to run by ourselves. And even if they suffer occasional damage, we're able to put them back in working order within reasonably short order. That's what even when we eventually get our CT scan machines and all the other expensive items, we want to be able to guarantee that if anything goes faulty, we'll be able to put it back on stream within 1 or 2 weeks.
Thank you. Ikeja, my grace. Hola. Madam, you see there for me. What do you want to
You mentioned it in that documentary, and then people to get here 7 o'clock. You are sitting here 10 o'clock, nobody is attending to you. I hope that your documentary is
So what is that?
safe.